Hey everybody, Jeffrey Guterman, Strat-O-Matic, Baseball Network. This is the final game of August 22, 1969, and it's the first of a three between Atlanta and St. Louis. It's Milt Pappas for Atlanta and Bob Gibson for St. Louis. I'm still setting up the game here, so please bear with me. Kathy Harden has arrived. Great to see you, Kathy. Great to see as usual. It's just going to be a few minutes here. Maybe about 5 minutes or so, give or take. Joel has arrived. Good to see you, Joel. All right, Rick, good to see you. I just got to throw in the fielding ratings and we'll be ready to play ball. All right. Yeah, I hate when that happens when Gibson gets shelled. I just hate that when a great pitcher gets shelled. If it happens sometimes, okay, but if it's a regular thing, that's really annoys me to no end. Let me get some coffee. We'll get started with this ball game. I'm dealing with some personal issues, and so I'm not my usual charming self today, but the show must go on, right? So Atlanta comes in a game and a half ahead of the Giants, and the Cards are in second place also. In second place, they're 10 and a half behind the first place Pittsburgh Pirates. They've passed the Chicago Cubs. I'm sorry, the Braves are in first, obviously, and the Cardinals take the field. I hope you all understand. Sonny Jackson leads it off for the Braves. I guess this is the best thing for me. Kathy Harden for the Braves, to get myself a little bit distracted. Here's Gibson now, the windup and the pitch to Jackson. That's 6-8, left-handed. He walked him, so Jackson is on. And Gibson better not get bombed here. Jackson a B, being held 1-12, and now Tony Gonzalez is the batter. After this game, I will update the standings and leaders for wins and home runs and post them on our community board. There's a link to it on the landing page. That should be up tomorrow morning. Here's Gonzalez now, left-handed hitter. Gibson from the stretch with Jackson on first. And the pitch, that's 4-7, left-handed. He struck him out. One away. Let's see Gibson's ratio this year. Yeah, it was good, but not great. It was very good, but not great. Not won an inning. Here's Hank Aaron now. Oh. And the pitch from Gibson. Two Hall of Famers now. Facing off. 5'9", right-handed. Struck him out. Two away for Rico Carty. From the stretch, the pitch to Carty. That's 1-6 right-handed, and that is a double down the line for Carty. Jackson will go to third and hold. Good news is there's two outs, so it's second and third, and Cepeda comes up, clutch situation. Gibson has won 12 this year. He had 20 in real world. I think he's slightly underperforming. Here's Gibson. The pitch to Cepeda. That's 3-8 right-handed, lines it to second to Felix Millan. And the side is retired, so Gibson gets out of it. No runs, a walk, a double, 2 left. After a half, Atlanta nothing, St. Louis coming to bat. Here's Milt Pappas. Lou Brock to lead it off. And Vic Davalillo is in the lineup, by the way. Curt Flood not feeling well today. Here's Pappas, the wind-up and the pitch to Brock. That's 4-7 left-handed. It's a base hit by Brock. Brock is on. He'll be a 1-17. We're going to send him. Didier a +2. As Davalillo comes up to the plate. Here's Pappas. And the pitch to Davalillo. There goes Brock, and he is safe by a mile. Brock swipes second. He's on second. Nobody out. Davalillo at the plate. As you can see, he didn't... First of all, he didn't play much. 71 at bats. He hit 155. So he's going to be a tough one. I got so many worries, I can't even keep track of them anymore. Here's Pappas from the stretch. The pitch to Davalillo. That's 3-2 right-handed. That's the number. It's a long drive into right center, falling. Brock rounding third, comes home. Davalillo in with a triple. And the Cards lead at 1-0. I'm sure the Giants are watching. They're a game and a half behind Atlanta. Davalillo with a huge triple. We hit just the sweet spot on his card. There's nothing else except the high 3 column. A triple by Davalillo. He's on third now with no outs. Here's Veda Pinson. Oh, thanks a lot, Rick. It's an ongoing struggle with various issues. But thank you. I hope I'm not being a downer to you all. And I don't need the sympathy. It just helps me sometimes just to verbalize it. Here's Pappas. And the pitch to Pinson now. That's 4-5, left-handed. Flies it to left field. That's going to be deep enough for Davalillo to tag. And that'll make it 2-0 St. Louis. 2 quick runs here for the Redbirds in the bottom of the first. Okay, thank you. Here's Pappas now, 1 out, nobody on. The pitch to Torrey. 3-11, right-handed. And there's a base hit to left field for Torrey. Now Tim McCarver. Pappas struggling here in the first. The pitch from Pappas. 5-7, fly ball center field for Gonzalez, 2 away. Now Mike Shannon. Pappas trying to get out of this. Here's the pitch to Shannon. That's 5-5 right-handed, struck him out. So the side is retired. 2 runs on 3 hits. One left on. After two, it's 2-0 St. Louis. We're going to head to the top of the second now. Here's Gibson. He ran into a little bit of trouble in the first. Okay, Gibson facing Cleat Boyer here in the top of the second. The pitch to Boyer. 3-4, and he flies it to right field for Pinson, one away. Now Felix Millan. I remember when he went to the Mets. I thought that was something, huh? Now Gibson, the pitch to Millan. That's 5-8 right-handed, grounds it to second X. That's for Gagliano, he's a 4-10. .24, he throws him out. 2 away. And Bob Didier is the batter. The windup and the pitch from Gibson. 4-9, switch hitter batting left, grounds to short X, Maxfield, 227. That's 2-2, it goes through for a base hit for Maxfield. A 2-out single. Maxfield is on first, and Milt Pappas is the batter. He's a good hitting pitcher, 6 NR. Some people would hear me and think, if they heard me for the first time today, that it's perfectly fine, his demeanor. You know, it's like if I'm low key, I sound more normal as a person. You know what I'm saying? Whereas, you know, when I'm good, I'm sort of, you know, a little bit spicy sometimes, if you know what I mean. Okay, Gibson facing Pappas. He's a right-handed hitter. From the stretch, Gibson. And the pitch. That's 5-6 right-handed. Struck him out, and that's the third for Gibson. No runs, 1 hit for Atlanta. Didier had a single. He was left on. We're in the middle of the second. It's still 2-0. Got to go through all the problems one by one. Prioritize and problem solve. Okay, we move now to the bottom of the second. The cards are coming up. It's going to be Pappas on the mound. Leading it off will be Gagliano. Here's Pappas. And the pitch. That's 6-7 right-handed. Grounds it to second. X for Mian, 117. 7. That's 17 for Felix. 7-12, he's got it. Yes, Mian throws him out. Nice play by Felix. 1 out. All I could do is what I can do. Now Dal Maxville comes up. Gibson comes out on deck. It's 1 out, nobody on. Bottom of the second, 2-0 Cards. And we're glad to have you here on the Strat-O-Matic Baseball Network. Oh. Okay, Pappas. He's ready. The windup and the pitch to Maxville. That's 4-12 right-handed. Grounds it back to Pappas. He's a 220. That'll be 1-2, and that will go through for a base hit. So Maxville singles with 1 out. And it's Bob Gibson now. He is a B bunter. We'll have him lay it. Why not? Now, better yet, I'll just have him hit away. It's a right-handed hitter. That's 6-7 right-handed. Grounds to second X. Mian again, 117. This is with Maxville on first. And that's a 6-1, and he turns the double play, and the side is retired. So no runs for St. Louis here in the bottom of the second. 1 hit, none left. And after 2, it's still 2-0 St. Louis. Okay, Gibson on the mound. He'll face the Braves here, top of the third. Sonny Jackson, he walked and was left on, along with Cardi, who doubled. Here's Gibson now. The pitch to Jackson. That's 3-8. And he pops it up to short for Maxville. 1 down. Now Tony Gonzalez struck out by Gibson in the first. And Gibson throws. 6-7 left-handed, and that is a liner to second, caught by Gagliano, 2 away. By the way, Julian is out. It's 2 outs. Now here's Hank Aaron. Struck Aaron out in the first. Here's Gibson. And the pitch to Aaron. 3-9 right-handed, pops it up to short for Maxville. And he makes the catch. It's a 1-2-3 by Gibson. So Gibson looks in good form after he got into a bit of trouble in the first. In the middle of the third, it's still 2-0 Cards. Be the top of the order for St. Louis here. They lead 2-0. Lou Brock leads it off. Brock singled, stole second, came home on Davalio's triple. Here's Pappas, and the pitch to Brock. 3-7, fly ball to left field for Cardi, 1 away. Now here's Davalio, his first start for the Cardinals. And the pitch from Pappas. 112, right-handed, fouls it out to first base, Cepeda. 2 away. And Veda Pinson comes up. 2 outs, nobody on. The pitch to Pinson. 6-12 left-handed, grounds it back to Pappas. He's at 220. That's 13-2. That'll be 20. Pappas may have trouble with this. It's a ground ball, and he boots it. So it's an error by Milt Pappas. That puts Pinson on first with 2 down. And Joe Torre is the batter. The pitch from Pappas. 1-5, and that is a base hit by Torre, right up the middle. Pinson goes to second and holds. That's a second base hit by Torre today. First on second, 2 down for McCarver. Clutch situation. And the pitch to McCarver. That's 110 right-handed. Whoa, it's a base hit by Tim. Pinson scores, that's unearned. Torre goes to third and holds. So it's 3-0 here. Yeah, I'm sorry, Kathy. And Mike Shannon is the batter. It's first and third, 2 down. All right, Pappas trying to get out of this. And the pitch, 3-7, and that is a fly ball to center. And Gonzalez is under it, and the side is retired. But another run for the Cards. Those errors will hurt. After 3, it's 3-0. I'm going to just jot down, and I know this sounds bizarre to some of you, but I'm just going to jot down these worries I have and what I'm doing about them. We're going to have a little break here for about 2 or 3 minutes, and I'll be back. You may think that's unusual, but it helps me, actually. Doing that. That's uncertain. That's okay. Okay, I just did it. You see, and I'm looking, it's the priority. I got that one that I have to take care of. You know, it's not easy for me being a parent. It never has been. I'm a sort of an obsessive thinker. I'm a worrier. And parenthood has been really hard on me because I worry endlessly. Not that I have a kid who just has a lot to worry about, but anything that goes on with them just kills me. You know what I'm saying? Any of you who are parents out there might be able to relate, and I have a real tough time with it. Anyway, I'm just going to take a couple minutes here, and I'll be back. We'll continue this. St. Louis 3, Atlanta nothing. St. Louis, by the way, is really playing decent baseball now. By the way, did you know that Seattle lost 9 in a row? In our replay. The Cubs have lost 8 in a row. I'll be back. Oh, Lord. I've dealt with it before. Oh, did you see it, Rick? Yeah, I'm glad you watched it. Yeah, I'm glad. Wasn't that something? There's a one just on 6 Stadium. That might be interesting. If I remember, I'll go look at that. But that one was really good, wasn't it? Did you see all the interviews with all those players? Very interesting. We're heading to the top of the 4th. It's a 3-0 ball game. Bear with me, I'm gonna get some coffee here. Let me get some coffee, okay, folks? I appreciate all of your patience. Rico Cardi will lead it off. Let me get coffee here. Okay, here's Cardi now. We're in the top of the fourth. Cardi doubled in the first. He was left on. Gibson on the mound. It's 3-0 Cardinals here. Okay, Gibson is ready. Yeah, that makes sense, Rick. Makes perfect sense. Here's the pitch to Cardi now. Oh, that's 2-4 right-handed, grounds it to third. Shannon has it, throws to Torrey at first, and there's one away. So Cardi is retired. Now here's Orlando Cepeda. Oh, God almighty. God almighty. Bear with me. Oh, God. Okay. Are we okay here now? God. I'm so sorry. You all with me? I messed up the stand here, but I'm fine now. There we go. There we go. Okay, yeah, there was no use in fixing that. Why throw good money at bad? Right? Isn't that how the saying goes? In addition, the owners couldn't afford it. They weren't willing to invest in the team. Here's Orlando. Yeah, what about the Earthquake World Series? Are you talking about 89? What about that, though? Here's the pitch to Cepeda. 6'9", right-handed, struck him out, and that's the fourth for Gibson today. 2 outs, nobody on. Gibson really has settled down. I remember watching that on TV. I said, wow, that's a first. All right, Cletus Boyer is the batter. It's 2 outs. Gibson has now retired 6 in order. 8 out of 9. 9 out of 10. 8 out of 9. 8 out of whatever. Here's the pitch to Boyer. That's 4-7 right-handed. He struck him out, and that's the 5th for Gibson. And it's another 1, 2, 3. It's 7 in a row. 9 out of 10. And we're in the middle of the 4th. It's still 3-0. Oh, I see. Yeah, Rick. God, I'm so glad I've never been in an earthquake. That would scare the hell out of me. I'm in hurricane country here in Florida, and at least we get warning. You know what I'm saying? Lord. At least we get fair warning of that. Well, we're heading to the bottom of the 4th here, and Phil Gagliano is the batter. Cardinals lead it 3-0 here. And Pappas, the windup, and the pitch to Gagliano. That's 6-8, right-handed. And that is a base hit by Gagliano off of Gibson's card. So Gagliano leads off with a single. Here's Dal Maxville now. Gibson out on deck. Okay, Pappas from the stretch and the pitch to Maxville. That's 5-11. And it's hit well by Maxville, but he doesn't have the power. He's a W, so that'll be a base hit. And Gagliano will go to third. Bringing up Bob Gibson. First and third, nobody out. Infield is in for Gibson, believe it or not. Sometimes I just make those decisions sort of impromptu, as if, it's Atlanta. They're going to do what they want to do, not what I think. And it just happened. I thought of it. They'll bring the infield in. They can't afford to let up another run on a double play ball. So here's Pappas. And the pitch to Gibson. That's going to be 3-10. He walked him. Lord. Pappas has loaded the bases. Now there's action in the Atlanta bullpen. This Atlanta team, they used Upshaw, Niebauer, and Doyle in this game. We're going to have Doyle start. He's a left-hander. Wait a minute. Doyle will warm. And we will also have Niebauer, a right-hander, warm. Both of them. So we have 2 warming here for the Braves. Its bases loaded, and they'll pull it back now on Lou Brock, the infield. Okay, here's Pappas. The pitch to Brock. That's 3-5. It's a base hit by Brock. Gagliano scores. Maxfield scores. Gibson goes to third. It is a 5-0 ball game, and they're going to just stay with Pappas a little longer. First and third with no outs, and Brock being held. We're going to send Brock. Here's Davalillo. And the pitch. There goes Brock. And he is safe. So Brock swipes second. I assume you can do that with first and third, right? Now it's second and third. And Davalillo. Here's the pitch from Pappas. That's 2-6 right-handed. Grounds to third, forcing, actually holding the runners. So it's 1 out. And here's Veda Pinson. They're going to walk Pinson. I know that's backfired on me a number of times, but we're going to try for the double play. Here's Joe Torre now, infield back. 2 runs in here. Hoping that Pappas can get out of this so they'll pinch hit for him. Okay, here's Pappas now. Infield back, bases full of Redbirds. Here's the pitch to Torre. That's 6-9 right-handed, flies to right field, and that's deep enough for Gibson to tag. That would have happened anyway, even if they hadn't walked Pinson. That's the third run. That's of no major fault to Pappas, so we'll keep him in. It's first and second with 2 outs now. Tough inning here for Pappas. 3 runs in, it's 6-0. And here's Tim McCarver. Oh, what happened to this? There it is. Oh, my. Were they streaky? You talking in '69, Rick? Is that so? Where do you get that? I mean, what's that based on? Your memory or what? You have some data? Is someone right about that? Just curious. Okay, first and second, 2 down McCarver now. Here's the pitch from Pappas. They've been very consistent in our replay. 4-6, and that is a base hit. Oh, that's on the edge. That's a reroll on the 20 die. And Pappas, no, it's a base hit. My God. But Brock will hold it third. Can you believe that? I'm going to keep him in here. That's crazy. See if he can get Shannon. If he can't, then that's it for him. Okay, Pappas. The pitch to Shannon. That's 1-9, right-handed, struck him out. And that will retire the side finally. Second strikeout for Pappas, and that'll be it for Pappas. 3 runs, 9 batters, and after 4, it's 6-0 Cardinals. And bottom of the order. I think they'll bring Doyle in. Doyle will be the next pitcher. Five earned, one unearned. Here's Felix Millan to lead it off. Gibson has retired 7 in order, and 10 out of the last 11. Oh, okay. Are you from Atlanta, Rick? Were you in Atlanta at the time? Here's Gibson, the pitch to Millan. That's 2-7 right-handed. It's a base hit by Felix. Felix is on 1-10, 1-12 being held. Here's Bob Didier. Didier's switch hitter batting left against Gibson. Oh, okay. Not sure what that is, but okay. Here's Didier. I guess that's near Atlanta, huh? From the stretch, Gibson, pitch to Didier. 3-11 right-handed. Base hit to right for Didier. And Millan will go to second. He's a 1-15. We'll have him hold. And there's going to be a hitter for Milt Pappas. Like I said, Paul Doyle will be the new pitcher. Let's see who's pinch hitting. It's going to be Felipe Alou. They have Gonzalez, a left-hander, to face Gibson, but Felipe is often in the lineup. Not so much against left-handers, against right-handers, but still sometimes he is. I don't know why he's not playing. So here's Felipe pinch hitting for Pappas. It's first and second, nobody out, Gibson. And the pitch to Felipe. 6-10. Fly ball center X. Davalillo 2-4. That's 19-2. He makes the catch and the runners hold. 1 out. And it's Sonny Jackson, a left-handed hitter. Jackson walked and popped 10 miles away. Okay. Yeah, I imagine you don't have to go too far out to be in a nice area, you know, nice country. 1 out, first and second. Gibson trying to get out of this. Here's Jackson. And the pitch from Gibson. 5-8 left-handed, grounds to second X. Gagliano 4-10. That'll be a 10. Let's see if he boots this. Oh my. 8. He turns the double play, and the side is retired. So nice play by Gagliano of the Cardinals at second base to double Didier. and the side is out. We're in the middle of the fifth, and it's still a 6-0 ball game. New pitcher now, Paul Doyle. He pitched in this game in real world. We'll let him come in from the bullpen, take his warm-ups. When we come up, it'll be Phil Gagliano to lead it off. He led off the fourth. They sent 9 batters up. It's a 6-0 ball game.
Luminar something like
I will give Doyle a little time here to take his warm-ups. I'll be back in about 2 or 3 minutes. It's 6-0 Cards. And I'm sure the Giants are quite pleased with the way this game is going. I'll be back. I will be back. I was once in traffic in Atlanta, Kathy, from the airport, the highway. It was not fun. But I guess that's a lot of places, you know? Oh. New York is miserable. Miami is miserable. I'm back, folks. I already solved one of the issues that I have. Isn't that something? Isn't that weird, by the way, that I'm here, this guy. Oh, the traffic is really bad, Rick? Okay. Isn't it something how I come on here and I do Strat-O-Matic, but I also bring my problems to it. I don't always, you know. I think yesterday I might have mentioned once or twice that I'm dealing with problems, but it's a loved one that I have, my son, and he's got a medical issue. I don't want to get into the details, and it's really hard. You know, he's 27, but I keep after him, and I kept after him. Call your primary care doctor, set up an appointment. If you can't get one soon enough, call the insurance company, tell them, I know how to troubleshoot. Well, I stayed on him. He just called. He has an appointment for Tuesday. So that one is now working. Like I told you, any of you parents out there? Oh, it's not easy. Oh. Okay, Paul Doyle is ready. Phil Gagliano steps up into the box. He's ready, but I'm not ready. I need to get coffee, and I'm going to be smoking some grass tonight. I don't care what. Thank you very much, Rick. You're kind people. You know that? All of you are so kind. You're so supportive. Thank you. I'm gonna smoke a lot of grass tonight. It's my flesh and blood, you know what I mean? And even if someone has an adopted child, or if it's a friend, a non-blood friend, you know, we care. Oh yeah, Deb, I know. You know, when we care about people, I take the problems on myself. When my son has a problem, I just feel awful about it. And I want to help him solve it. I know he needs to. Yeah, you're right about that, Rick. He needs to problem solve himself, but you got to stop the bleeding. So I got on him. Now he's not texting me back. I asked him if he felt better about it now. I must be a real nuisance. I'm a real nuisance. Okay, Phil Gagliano, he opened up with a single and scored. The Cards scored 3 runs there in the 4th inning. Then when he doesn't respond to my text promptly, I get upset. But I know a lot of people deal with that. Okay, Doyle is ready in for Pappas, who allowed 6 runs in 4 innings, one of them unearned. Here's Doyle, the wind-up, the pitch to Gagliano. 2-9, left-handed, fly ball to right for Aaron, 1 away. Now down Maxville. Maxville singled and scored last inning, and he's 2 for 2. Oh, that's good coffee. Here's the pitch from Doyle. That's 6-9 right-handed, grounds it to short X for Jackson, 331. That's 15-3, he throws him out. 2 away. Doyle retires the first 2 batters, and here's Gibby now. Gibby grounded into a double, walked and scored. I might even partake at the end of this ball game. Now he's not even responding. Oh, Lord, help me. 2 outs, nobody on. Gibson, right-handed hitter at the plate. Here's Doyle. That's 111, and he chops it to short for Jackson again. And he throws it to Cepeda at first. It's a 1-2-3 for Doyle in his first inning of relief. We've gone 5 innings. The score is still 6-0 Cardinals. Cardinals, the returning National League champions. They lost to Detroit in 7 in the World Series, and they're making a go of it. They had a rough start this season, not their usual for the past 2 seasons, and they have creeped into second place, but still 10.5 behind Pittsburgh, the amazing Pittsburgh Pirates. It'll be the heart of the order here for the Braves, top of the 6th. Tony Gonzalez 0 for 2. Then Aaron, then Cardi. All right, I got that resolved. Whew, it's not easy, folks. Now I'm, and you're also understanding of me. You really are. You know, through good and through bad. Okay, Gonzalez leads it off 0 for 2. Now I'm a little bit more my usual self. Gibson into his windup, and the pitch to Gonzalez. That's 1-7, right-handed, fly ball left field for Brock, 1 down. And Hank Aaron. Future Hall of Famer, I think it's fair to say, facing another future Hall of Famer, Bob Gibson. Both are deceased in real world. A lot of people, a lot of players in this game are deceased. Here's Gibson. The pitch to Aaron. That's 5-6, right-handed. Struck him out for the second time today. That's number 6 for Gibson, 2 down. And here's Rico Cardi. Yeah, I'm gonna smoke some grass. Absolutely. Ah. Oh, Jeff. Oh. Ah. Okay, Cardi facing Gibson. Yes, Kathy Arden. Absolutely. I love that. I love those emojis you send. Here's the pitch. That's 4-7 right-handed. Struck him out. Number 7 for Gibson. Boy, has he been tough. That's the way I like to see him pitch. I know you want Atlanta, Kathy, but, you know. We've gone 5.5 here. Can you believe this Bob Menendez? Who the, you know, this is damning indictment. I mean, gold bars, hundreds of thousands in cash. Who the hell takes bribes? Who the hell, you know, with a foreign country, for Christ's sakes? That is pure to me. That is pure. I don't care what party he's from, Kathy. That is poor. He's a danger to national security. Yeah, he skated once. Yeah, exactly. That's an interesting choice of words. Yeah, he got off like on a technicality or something. It was a hung jury, and then, you know, really, what kind of, you know, I have financial issues. Okay. You know, I'm not taking bribes, not that I have any power to do so. I guess I could be tempted. But, you know, Jesus, this guy, it's appalling to me. And to me, that's national security. That goes beyond greed. That goes to when you're manipulating, oh my God. You want to talk about shady? That I find that appalling. You know, that's national security, for Christ's sakes. We live in a very dangerous world, Kathy, and you know that. That's got to be prison time, folks. Really, he needs to go to a prison, and I'm not talking about. Some Club Med type thing. That is, his wife is sketchy, huh? Oh, Christ. Bottom of the 6th. He's got to resign, Kathy Harden. Absolutely. I mean, this is really incriminating. I'm not a legal person. Oh, Deb, aren't you nice? Aren't you nice? I think he's already stepping down from and he's in the Foreign Relations Committee, for Christ's sakes. God, I consider that a personal affront, because he's doing that to my country, taking bribes for Egypt. Anyway, Paul Doyle on the mound. He was very effective in his first inning of relief. He'll face the top of the order now. It's 6-0 Cardinals. Oh. Okay, here's Doyle, the windup and the pitch. This is lefty-lefty. This is why they brought Doyle in. Brock and Davalillo are left-handed hitters, even though Davalillo can hardly hit the side of a barn this year. Pitch from Doyle. That's 1-2. Oh my, it's hit deep by Brock. Oh, and there it goes, sailing over the right field fence. And look at that, look at that roll, ones all along. Lou Brock has hit a solo home run, Kathy. And that'll make it a 6-0 ball game. Okay, and we know Brock has the power. He could have hit a lot more home runs if he didn't care about getting on base. Lou Brock has hit a home run. Let's see for Brock now. Yeah, Kathy Harden. No, I'm not trying to, you know. It's number 11 for Lou. He had, let me see how many he had in real world. He had 12, okay. So that's gone off of Doyle, and isn't that a dandy? A 1-2. It's, and the 20 die is a 1. It was a 1 to 8, and it's gone. Oh, what I do. Here's Vic Davalillo now. Oh, Lord. Davalillo, a left-handed hitter. Look at his card. They're going to have a hitter for him. Really, there's no business. We'll let him hit. They're leading 7-0. We'll let him hit. He's good in center field. Davalillo 1 for 3, tripled and scored. Knocked in a run. And can you believe this looming shutdown, Kathy? God almighty, what a bunch of numbskulls we have in the Congress. Here's Doyle. That's 1. Oh, it's another 1-2. And I rolled it, folks. You saw me rolling that. Davalillo 1-2, and he hit him. My Lord. So Davalillo is on. Niebauer warming. These are 1 to 10, 1 to 12. Here's Veda Pinson. You know, the dice are made so that you have a chance to hit anything, anytime, including the splits. And that's what happened here. This thing goes down the tower, and I don't believe, you know, you can say, well, you didn't roll them. You know, we rolled them. Okay, Davalillo on first. Still nobody out here. Doyle from the stretch, you see? And the pitch. I do that now. Every time. 1-7 left-handed. Struck him out. 1 down. And here's Joe Torre. 2 singles and a sacrifice fly. It's 7-0 Cardinals. All right, Doyle from the stretch. The pitch to Torre. 4-3, right-handed, and that's hit deep by Torre, and there it goes. A 2-run home run right off Doyle's card. That's going to be 9-0. And that's going to be it for Doyle. I've had enough of this. That's 3 runs batted in for Torre today. Nice to see Torre hitting. Brock has 3 runs batted in. Doyle gets knocked out here in his second inning of relief. He pitched 1 1/3. 2 hits, both home runs. He walked none, struck out 1, and has allowed 3 runs. It's 9-0, Kathy Harden. And it's going to be Niebauer coming in, I think. Yeah, even though, well, let me see who else is available. With McCarver. God almighty. Yeah, it'll be Niebauer. I don't care if he's a right-hander or what. Niebauer pitched in real world in this. Doyle looked good in his first inning, but... So Niebauer comes out. A little break in the action here as he will take the mound and take his warm-ups. It's one of those games, and I'm sure Ron would be pleased. He's a Cardinals fan. I think Philip is a Cardinals fan. Okay, Niebauer. He's ready. And here's Tim McCarver. It's 1 out, nobody on. It's a 9-0 ball game. Okay, Niebauer into his windup and the pitch to Tim. That's 4-6, left-handed, fly ball center. Gonzalez under it, and he makes the catch. 1 away. 2 away. And now Mike Shannon. Oh, he likes the Reds, Kathy. Okay, good memory. I thought it was the Cards. But now that you mention it, sounds right. Ah. 2 outs, nobody on. Shannon at the plate. 0 for 3 today. Niebauer winds and deals. 1-5, right-handed. Grounds to second for Mian, and the side is retired. So 3 more runs for the Redbirds here in the bottom of the 6th. After 6, it's Cardinals 9, Atlanta nothing. And Gibson throwing shutout baseball. It's been very tough today. He's allowed 4 hits, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. And we head to the top of the 7th. It's going to be Orlando to lead it off. And then when I complete this half inning, I'm going to take some medicine during the 7th inning stretch. Good thing one really terrific thing I have with my son is we have open communication, and he still talks to me, so that's a good thing. Once you lose that, you're through. And even when I get upset with him, we work it out, because that would just destroy me if he wouldn't talk with me. Okay, Gibson trying to keep the shutout here. It's 9-0. Here's Orlando now. The windup by Gibson and the pitch. That's a 2-8 right-handed. Lines it to first, caught by Torrey. 1 down in a sea of trouble there. Now here's Cletus Boyer. Gibson going for win number 13 today. You think Atlanta's toying with the Cards? I don't know. I think Gibson is just shutting them out. I could be wrong. Here's Cletus now. Cletus 0 for 2. And the Braves better watch it. A 1.5 game lead is nothing to rest on. The Giants are hungry. Okay, Gibson is ready. The pitch to Boyer. That's 2-7 right-handed, and that is a liner to third, caught by Shannon. 2 outs. Boy, he's been so tough, Gibson. Now Felix Mian 1 for 2. Gibson gets the sign from McCarver. And here's the pitch to Mian. That's 6-4 right-handed. Struck him out. Look at that. Number 8 for Gibson. Another 1-2-3. The side is retired. It's the 7th inning stretch, and it's 9-0 St. Louis. So not all our games are close, great games. And the law of averages say you're going to have some like this. And when they happen, that's fine. So we're in the 7th inning stretch now, folks. And it's the pre-witching hour as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to take one solid hit here and just get myself going. And enjoy myself. Gibby is hot. Oh, yeah. Gibby. It upsets me, Kathy, when an ace like Gibson or Seaver or even Kuzman, that when these people get bombed out, it can happen in real world. but still, I just, it just annoys me to no end. And I'm going to take a nice chunk here. It's going to be a few minutes, folks. I want to thank you all for being here. If any of you are wondering who I am Jeffrey Guterman, but that doesn't really say much. It's more like I am my desires. I am what I really want to do, and I am what I really don't want to do. Think about it. When you ask somebody, who are you? People often go ahead and tell you about things they like and things they don't like. I mean, you can talk about accomplishments or even bad acts, but I don't think that defines you. I think people who commit bad acts should not be exonerated for their acts. They should be held accountable. But I think rating a person, good and bad, it's really a fiction. I mean, based on us, some people are evil, but that's a big discussion. That's a very big frickin' discussion. Oh, very big. Well, I enjoy having you all here. Oh, oh yeah. Let me just relax. Oh. Let me just relax, people, please. Give me just a minute here. Yeah. Yes, indeed. Oh, oh, yes, indeed. Oh, Christ. Oh, that is so good. Oh. Oh. Here's Niebauer. He pitched 2/3. In the 6th, retired both batters he faced. Be the bottom third of the Cardinals lineup here in the bottom of the 7th. They lead 9-0. Here's Gagliano. Niebauer. The pitch to Gagliano. That's 3-8, right-handed, and it's a fly ball to left field. And Cardi makes the catch, 1 away. Now down Maxville. Can you believe that the Pirates swept a doubleheader yesterday? 5-0, and I think it was it 12-0? Doc Ellis in the 5-0, and then Steve Blass, both went all the way. It's like 5-0 and 12-0. I could see that happening in real world. I could easily see that happening. I don't know what you mean, Deb. Bad guys. My son doesn't think I'm the bad guy. Okay, here's Maxville. 1 out, nobody on. 2-7 right-handed. Struck him out. Or maybe I'm just attaching my own thing to that, so disregard Deb Upcroft. Here's Gibson now. He gets a big hand from the hometown crowd here. It's 2 outs, nobody on. And Niebauer. Third Braves pitcher today. The pitch to Gibson. That's 6-11 right-handed. He struck him out. So Niebauer has retired the first 5 batters he's faced. We've gone 7. And it's still a 9-0 ball game. That has a nice ring to it. Now, I could be wrong about this, but I believe a forfeit. If there's a forfeit, it's ruled a 9-0 game. I read that once. My mother also told me, don't believe everything you read. And that was when I was very young. And what I learned is to be skeptical, cynical, uncertain. And I think taking those steps helps one get closer to truth by eliminating error. And that's based on the philosophy of Sir Karl Popper from the United Kingdom. And it's a good idea to be very tentative about some of our claims. I don't mean like that murder is wrong. I don't mean stuff like that, even though sometimes killing is in self-defense. So we want to be careful about, I want to be careful. And it's not particularly comfortable to live a life where you are hypercritical of any truth claim. Now, if someone says, life is what you make it, well, that's a truism. Trust but verify, Kathy Harden. You know, someone updated that. Don't trust and verify. So, you know, trust means to predict. So, I trust that this will happen, that this person will do this, that this person will not do this. But I feel really good now that I've been able to get a little separated. You know how that passing quarterback, Rick, who are you talking about? Which Brave are you talking about? But I feel good about what I did with my son today. I feel really good about that. I think I did everything. And he frickin' knows one thing, and that's that I love him. And, you know, what love is, well, that's another story. But that's something I'm glad about. And he knows that to a fault. He knows I love him to a fault. Anyway, that's life. But that was good. I felt good about it, and I sort of, you know. Yeah, oh yeah, Kathy Harden, you bet. And it's not easy. You know, it's not easy in life to have to respond, to have to adjust, to have to deal with something. You know, sometimes the problem in life is action is needed and one doesn't take action, or they take action on the wrong level. sometimes action is taken when it's not needed. And then that action can be the solution attempt that becomes the problem. So these are some of that systems thinking. I learned that, in my studies. Anyway, I think we'll get back to this ball game. It's a 9-0 ball game, but I feel really good about it now. It's funny how you can just sort of shift. It's almost like I put out a fire, at least in my own mind. I created the fire within myself and sort of went with it and went badly with it, worried. But I got the job done. That's the point. It doesn't matter how you frickin' feel when you're in I wouldn't call it today a crisis, but an important moment, and you need to take frickin' action. Screw your feelings. You look at your feelings, and if they're interfering with your life, you find out what you're doing to create them and/or exacerbate it, and change. Now, I'm here now in my studio, and I have just ingested some of my medicine, and you want to know something? I have a really, especially I want to find the right word. I have right now, I'm experiencing a wonderfully, I would say, brilliant buzz right now. It's one where I feel as if an entire body of knowledge has infiltrated my organism. I don't have anything else to say on the subject, but I'm having a good time. You see what I'm saying? And I'm right here, okay? I am right frickin' here in Studio B. And you know it is Studio B, don't you? Oh yeah, that's cool, Kathy Harden. I should adopt. Let me show you something. We're in Studio B. I hope the reception is still okay here. There it is. Studio B here in Victoria Park of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, in the USA. And I'm really feeling good right now. Actually, it's elusive, but, oh yeah, it's groovy, Kathy Harden. And I'm feeling good because Gibson's coming out on the mound. He's shut out the Braves today through 7. And Gibby is doing Gibby's thing. He was a fast worker. Oh, do you really, Kathy? Wouldn't that be novel? Oh. I took care of business today. When I see I have a self-responsibility, like helping my son get his shit together, I act on it. Okay. Does it mean there'll be no more problems again? No. By the way, and he pitched in real world Upshaw. Maybe their best. He's warming, even though it's 10-0. I don't even feel like I could use Stone, but I'd have to go look where he is in the rotation. Of course, look at Upshaw. 105 innings, 27 frickin' saves. I could use Necro because he's such a, he pitched 264, but I won't use him. So it just makes sense to use Upshaw. He was used in real world. So Gibson, I love to watch Gibson pitch when he's pitching well. Here's Bob Gibson. You're a fast worker, Gibson. I said it before. Some who've heard it, I'll be repeating, but for new people, Gibson was once asked, "Do you try to strike people out?" And he says, "No, not at first. When I get 2 strikes on him, I do." Gotta love that. But he was a very fast worker. Okay, Gibson is ready. Didier steps up. And here's the pitch. That's 2-9. He struck him out. Number 9 for Gibson. It's almost like a Zen kind of fantasy. 2-9. Right on Didier's card. Didier's walking back to the dugout. And there's going to be a hitter for Niebauer. Oh, isn't that special? Niebauer pitched 1 and 2/3, and he was perfect. No one got on. Struck out 2, but obligatory, people. If you really didn't give a shit what people thought about, you would let him hit. For Christ's sakes, it's 10-0. I mean, people have come back. But there's no evidence they're going to do it off Gibson. Let's see who's hitting. Oh, my buddy. We're going to make it a family affair tonight. Tommy Aaron is going to come in to hit. He had only 60 at bats, but this is and we would ordinarily put an H Aaron, but it's so common, it's so known that that's Hank without a letter, and then you just do T Aaron. And I think a sly. Boom, 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 boom. I hope this doesn't get a copyright strike. Boom, 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 boom. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. Where you go to be someone. He was amazing in that recording. If you think about it, it's quintessential stuff. Boom, boom, boom. Remember the intro? Boom, 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 boom. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. Where you going? You remember Sly's voice? Just amazing. You folks from the 60s? Caviar, aren't you from the 60s? Here's Tommy Aaron now. 1 out, nobody on. Might have Tommy stay in for this ball game and play the outfield. Oh, no. Here's Gibson now. 4-8, fly ball center. And Davalillo makes the catch, 2-way. Nice to see Vic out there. Hitting a triple and knocking in a run, scoring twice, getting hit and scored. So Tommy, can you hear me, is retired. Can you feel me near you? And it's up to Sonny Jackson. Folks, it's top of the 8th here. And the Braves, it's a beautiful thing if you're a Cardinals fan and also if you're a Giants fan. And I'm looking forward to a race out there in the West, even though Atlanta's really not West. And we thought that at 11 years old. I thought that. Why are they in the West? Why are the Cubs in the East when the White Sox are in the West? And why are there 2 expansion teams, first-year expansion teams, in the same goddamn division? That's bizarre. Now, I understand it was Seattle and KC, but at least put KC in the East. That's bizarre. And I know it has to do with travel, but to me, that was utterly bizarre, even though KC, you know, they went for youth and the future. And they got better quicker. But the Brewers got on the right track, you know, eventually. And, you know, the whole story about Seattle. And Rick said he saw the documentary, Short Flight into History or something, the Seattle Pilots, right on YouTube. Just type it in. Short Flight, Seattle Pilots. And it's a fascinating documentary to watch. There's a ball low to Jackson. Full count now, by the way. Gibson on Jackson. That's 4-5 left-handed. And it's a shallow fly ball to left field. And Lewis Brock gets under it on the side, is out. We're heading to the bottom of the eighth. Bob Gibson. Almost unhittable tonight. It's going to be Cecil. A real waste. But they better get... Maybe they want him to pitch. Maybe they just feel that he hasn't seen much action. And I'll tell you, the Braves are not a cinch there in the West. The Giants are right there. And they're on the verge of becoming within one game of these Braves. And that really, I think that's pretty wild. Within my replay, that this is happening. Do you know what I'm saying? The other three, forget about it. I think the Pirates are going to win this. Okay, in the East. I don't see any sign. And I think maybe on paper they were. Because they had decent starting pitching. Some of it very good. Even bullpen. And the hitting was awesome. Hitting was freaking awesome. Al Oliver is at first base as needed. He is and he has more at bats now. We're going to see him consistently. He is a real guy at second base, at first base there. Cecil. Okay, Cecil. You remember Cecil and Beanie? We've talked about that. Bottom of the ninth now. And top of the Cardinals order, Lewis Brock. I believe he's a Hall of Famer, right? I stopped the welcome. Oh, yeah. Absolutely, Kathy. I don't know a lot about it. That's when I wasn't into baseball. But I was aware of Howard Johnson and, you know, I thought the 86 Mets, and that's just about when I stopped paying attention. I thought that was maybe as good a team as there ever was in the history of baseball. It's not because I'm a Met fan. I'm not that kind of Met fan. I'm talking really historically. They had like 6 pitchers with 10 or more wins. They had you know, like 5 pitchers with 12 wins or more. You know, they had Gooden, Darling, and it just went on and on. Okay? I thought that 86 team was amazing. The 85 team, I even followed that. They were like 3 games behind St. Louis, I believe, who won the division. You know, some years a team will win the division and I don't really think much of it. And even the World Series, because anything can happen in a series. You all know that. So it's really like a crapshoot. unless a team's doing really bad. A nice example of that would be when the Giants in '54 beat Cleveland. 4 straight. Lesser so the Dodgers. Yeah. Oh, Lord, let me just. Yeah. Let me just check that out. Yeah. There it is. Make it so easy now. Yeah, the Rustlers. There it is. And before that, Mr. Jerry Gigi Giuliamette. Before the Boston Braves. They were the Boston Rustlers. And we're doing them in our 1911 replay, and it's kind of nice that we have taken sort of a vacation from that replay. But it reminds me of the incredible Elton John, Bernie Taupin tune. When I say Rustlers, Roy Rogers. The words are so good, and the melody was so amazing. He really was a musical genius. The Rustlers and Cowboys and Home on the Range. Turn off the TV, shut out the light. Roy Rogers is riding tonight. Just, and then you get tired of it when you're a kid even. But now as I get older, you go back to that song, you're going to see that is a solid piece of creativity there. And it starts with the words. God almighty, Bernie Taupin with the words. Turn off the TV, shut out the light. Roy Rogers is riding tonight. It's unbelievable. And he labored on those. And Elton could write a song in a half hour. It's the truth. Here's Cecil now. Not to say Elton will develop it more, Facing Brock. You know what? We got 9-0 ball game. And Cecil and Beanie into the wind-up. 85 he was inducted. Oh, Christ, yeah. There's a future Hall of Famer, we'll call him. Unfortunately, he's passed, Rick. Here's Upshaw now. 5-6 left-handed, and that is a base hit for Lewis. Lord, his 4th hit of the game. Lewis, 4 for 5, scored twice, had the home run to lead off the 6th. He gets on. He has stolen 2 bases, and he's going to go for a 3rd right frickin' now. This is about the possibility of now. He's a double. He's 1 to 15, 1 to 17, 1 to 15, +2. Thank you. 1 to 17. Love it. Off Didier. Brock on first. He's freaking going. Here's Vic now. Vic surprised me. He got hit by a pitch. That's fine. As long as you're not hurt. Any way you can beat him. Davaleo at the plate. And it's Lewis. Here's the pitch from Upshaw. Oh, there goes Brock. Oh, my. And he's safe. His 3rd stolen base of this ball game. Lord. He's got a whopping 3 today, and that freaking happens, folks, in life. Okay? Not often, maybe. Okay? But with Didier, he'll run on him all freaking day and night. Okay? Didier. Oh, Lord help me. Okay, so it's Brock on second. I love when that happens. Victor Davalillo comes up. It is a 9. I'm looking at a picture right now of Menendez, Kathy, and his wife. And to me, I'm sorry to go back into it, but it's a betrayal to me. It's an utter betrayal. I'm looking at pictures right now. I'm just going to tell you. Okay, Davalillo at the plate. Here's Upshaw now. That's 2-2 right-handed, and he pops it up to the right side of first base in foul territory. Orlando, against the rail, and he makes the catch. And Orlando got that. Brock holds. Just got that. And did I see, I'm looking at the replay, Orlando then took a nacho. The minute he caught that, he took a nacho out of that fan's nachos. and then dunked it in something and popped it in his mouth and returned to first base. So that, what's his name did that? Ortiz, didn't he? And on some level, that's one of the greatest freaking plays. Wasn't it in an important game, like a championship series or something? This guy, to see this, and he is such a plain-looking man. I want to say that. I know that involves bias, but I just want to say he's such a plain and ordinary-looking man, and that's what makes it that you just don't know what's inside. And I say fullest extent of the law. If it's a first offense, I don't know. And it's white collar. There's no violence. There's no physical violence. But it is I'm looking at pictures right now. And him coming back saying they are baseless allegations. The Department of Justice is not going to bring a case unless it's winnable. Something like 90% of them are plea deals, or you're convicted. And some people go down. He secretly aided the government of Egypt. All right, I hate to put you on the spot, Kathy, but I see your name there. Okay, that is, to me, that's almost espionage. I don't know what we would call that. I'm not a legal scholar, but we could add. We'll find out. But that's unbelievable. So Davalillo, that was a tricky play by Orlando there in foul territory. Here's Veda Pinson. Veda's had an interesting evening at the plate. Sacrifice fly, reached on an error and scored. Intentionally walked left on and struck out. Veda. My Lord, Egypt. Not that they're an enemy. We help them. We have a good relationship. But that is such a crime. The offense of that, 5'4", left-handed, that's a fly to right. And under it is Henry Aaron for the second out, and Lewis holds on second. If you're looking ahead now, and you're the eternal optimist. You're looking ahead to the top of the ninth. Defy and deny, Kathy, but how brazen. I guess he believes he's going to fight this and win this. Maybe he's right, but I doubt it. And what a thing. You shouldn't talk to the media at all. And he should resign. I don't care what it is. The Senate should insist on his resignation, because anyone found with hundreds of thousands of dollars of cash and gold bars in their residence needs to be investigated and has no business being in Congress. And then we'll see what happened. If he's convicted, he has no business being in Congress. Problem in the U.S. is, here's a picture of him with Egyptians at a restaurant. What a frickin' sleazeball. And how could you live with yourself? Okay, the money that you're gonna get, is it really worth? No, it's easy for me to say I haven't been tempted. Okay? But is it really worth giving all that up? And Joe Torre, boy, he's had a good night. 3 for 3. A sacrifice fly, a 2-run blast. With 3 frickin' runs batted in, it's nice to see Torre hitting for a change. But how brazen. You write corrupt. The mantra of the corrupt is defy and deny. And I hate to make judgments on the way a person looks, but I think a first step from me is to be honest with myself if I have such judgments, and have enough courage to admit I have them. Yes, that woman looks awfully corrupt to me, Kathy Harden, with no evidence of it for me personally. I trust this. Look at those gold frickin' bars. Okay. Look at his jacket. What is he dealing with such cash? Okay, that's very fishy. You don't need to be, there's something untoward that we're going to see the connection that this Justice Department will lay out. And I want to tell you something. I am strongly offended by the brazenness of these acts by Bob Menendez. And I don't care what his party is. He could be with the frickin' Communist Party. I don't care. I'm saying he's in Congress, and that is the lowest. Just to look at his dumb face, his dumb, plain face, that is the lowest. You thought you could get away with this? You frickin' jackass. You imbecile. You thought the fact that these people think they can get away with this shit, sometimes they do. I'm sorry, anyone out there? I just don't want to give this ball game up. Yeah, really, it's an outrage. We need people in Congress, maybe I'm idealistic, to stay more with there needs to be oversight that's independent of Congress. I know it's a very slippery slope. We've always had corruption. We've always had kooks. Okay? But, and Mostly it's been the Republican Party. Okay, no doubt about that. But I'm telling you, you know, it goes to show I feel pretty good about myself that I can jump on Menendez, you know, without hesitation. That is, you know, with Egypt, come on. What are you trying to do to us? Who the fuck shares information privately for monies? And you know that there will be, he had a Mercedes also. There will be, oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at pictures again, and you know, I can get in a loop, you know. I'm so sorry that I was, in that loop. Oh, I'm out of it right now. Okay, Torrey, 3 for frickin' 3, and a sacrifice fly, 3 knocked in. Upshore, 2 outs, Lewis on second, and the pitch. That's 1-9, and he struck him out, Cecil did. Well, Cecil looked pretty good there. And the side is retired. We're heading to the 9th now. It's been quite a ball game. A lot of people have left, even though it's the home team. Some people want to avoid the traffic. They'll leave. If you really want to do that, you better go now, because people are leaving. You should have done it last inning. Remember that? We're in the top of the 9th. And, you know, it's been an interesting ball game. I came off, and actually, you know, this is astonishing to me, and I don't want to get overexcited, but I'm going to reiterate. I came on in one of the worst conditions emotionally that I ever have. And texting with my son during the first, I'd say 3 innings, solidified everything. And I feel really good about it. And then taking the weed now, I guess I just am fortunate enough to have been in an exhilarating mood. That's the word I was looking for, an exhilarating my consciousness is fairly exhilarating. There is a sort of a backdrop, an under level that is quite visible, and it's you know, a little paranoid. You know what I'm saying? Anxious and paranoid. But overall, it's quite pleasing. I want to tell you that. And what I really enjoy about this so far is Bob Gibson. I want to tell you that. Tonight we bring him back to life. Already, you know, really a legend. Just those, you know, he made a big contribution. He was on the mound, I believe, when the Cardinals won it in '64. He was on the frickin' mound, I tell you. Okay? Whoever's on the hill as a winner, you know, on like the last out or something, you know. Or the top of the 9th. But he was on the hill there. Was he on the hill? Who am I talking about? Oh, yeah, Gibson. Gibson. And I knew him so well as a 9-year-old and a 10-year-old. And then every year after that, more and more. Back then, I realized that Gibson was one of the greatest pitchers ever. He's top tier. I do 3 tiers. Oh shit, what happens? Oh, there it is. Wow. What a thing that would be. Well, we're going to go through this now. Gibson is ready, and it's McCarver, Shannon, and Gagliano coming up here in the top of the ninth. Indeed, it is the top. And Gibson has gone all the frickin' way. Shutout. 4 frickin' hits. He has struck out 9. He walked the first batter in the ball game, Sonny Jackson, but nothing like that again. And he's been almost, I describe him almost as unhittable tonight. He did allow 2 hits that inning, 1 and then 1 with a walk. Okay, but other than that, he's frickin' unhittable. He's allowed nobody, no runs. He's allowed nothing. Sorry, it's going to be Atlanta coming up. I'm so sorry. He's allowed nothing. Can you imagine, like, if I went into, because I want to be reflective about it now, if I went into some bizarre kind of, it would be sort of performance, okay? And then you can call it performance art, you know, the strangest people would just come on and say stuff. Like I could do it. I'm not good at it being able to do multiple. I know a guy who is. A comedian. His name escapes me. I thought he's one of the funniest guys in the world. And he followed me and then he unfollowed me. I think it's because he realized I'm too funny. And I'm going to overpower him. I'm just kidding. You know, when people say they're just kidding, they're not. I'm just kidding. Menendez, for him to, I think this might be, and now I could be wrong, but I think this case could be an excellent example of, there's a word for it. In Yiddish, it's chutzpah. What's the English word? Anybody know? I know Yiddish is chutzpah. You know, a very plain word, it's not thick enough though, is nerve. But there's a brazen something. And if anyone knows the word, please let me know. I can't believe I'm blocked on that. By the way, Tony Gonzalez leads it off 0 for 3. Look at that. 0 for 3. Aaron 0 for 3. Leading it off, Gibson on the mound. And it's not cavalier either, even though it is cavalier. It's audacious. Let me check that word out, if you don't mind. Audacious. I guess it would be audacity is the root. Yeah. Maybe audacity is a decent word. Brazen. It's brazen. He is quote unquote temporarily stepping down as Foreign Relations Committee chair. And he got pressure to do that from Schumer. He has no business. And if he was a smart guy, he would resign. If this comes out to be conviction, then I'll have to consider it to be true. And if this is true, I am so offended with a very well controlled rage. And I'm just gonna have to deal with it, because you know what? It's not here nor there. It doesn't matter. No one gives a shit about how I feel about it. But and by the way, I don't seethe on punishment, but I do think there should be jail time, I suppose, for people. But I'm very, very glad, okay? I'm very glad. Oh, Lord. Oh, well, I'm going to do, I love people who do sort of a slow motion Strat-O-Matic. And I think it's wild. I love it. I'll do Gonzalez. If you want, I'll do the Tony Gonzalez at bat. It's 9-0, people. And I kind of feel like I don't want to part with this ball game so quickly. That's what I'm feeling like. I talked earlier. I like to be reflective. I talked earlier about, I think this was a good game for me, because it allowed me to go through an experience with my son, with enjoying the particular effect that I was experiencing from my medicine tonight. And some of you may say, well, is there sort of a sarcasm, like underneath everything you do here on YouTube? Is there a cynicism, a sarcasm about that comes in? And I would say, so I suppose so. Okay, because some of it is done like there's a subtext of who the hell is this guy Jeffrey Guterman on YouTube acting like this in his very, very unusual ways. And when you peel away the layers, what you find is a guy who is terribly, not terribly, but chronically depressed and anxious, basically unhappy, but not in acute distress. It's sort of a more subtle feeling in my gut, just like there's some kind of cotton or some cardboard sitting in my gut all the time, most of the time. But I'm feeling pretty good right now. Feeling all right. Tony! Yeah, loving this replay, folks. Loving it. Loving Gibson on the mound tonight. And we'd love to hear from you here on the Strat-O-Matic Baseball Network. I started this game at, I think it was 2 p.m. if I'm not mistaken. Jeez. Lord, that's cool. Whoa, Lord. Oh my now. So we're going to play this ball game. Boy, some of the shit I see on TV is, I don't know how to put it. You want me to tell you, I'm not into any radical ideas about attitudes. Okay, I think they're pretty, middle of the road, but I want to tell you something. And I know a lot of it is good because it works. What am I talking about? Something quite profound. I'm talking about the social construction of reality. Do you realize that the attitudes we hold have been to a large degree imposed on us, taught to us, and some people don't recognize it. And when you look at that, you also can get into the propaganda model. In the 20s, it was an acceptable form of advertising, believe it or not. And then, Hitler used it. And it goes on in this country, a propaganda of the ideas. I can get into a few of them if you want. One of the you could call them, again, these attitudes, ideas, beliefs, rituals that are, I say, imposed on us by a dominant structure, a dominant society, culture. You see it on media. People communicate this way, and you act on it and internalize it. One of them is that you need to be successful in order to consider yourself a worthwhile human being. I'm going to repeat that again. Well, Kathy Harden, if you want to ask me that, it all depends. I think it's multiple factors. It is both nature and nurture. But it's also the self-learning, and that's what I'm talking about now. How you are indoctrinated, and then you go on to indoctrinate yourself. Now, some of it is good. We have the social norms. Red lights means stop. Some of them are good. Don't run in traffic. Okay? But some of them are pernicious, and it's really a good idea to pause and examine them and think about it. Do I really need to? I mean, it's nice to have success, to have money, to have fame, whatever you want, to have anything you want. But you don't need it to prove that you're worthy. You can get away from that whole rating system and simply choose to accept yourself as a fallible human being, as we all are, who has many traits, qualities, and you're more of a process than a product. And that's my nickel tour tonight of the realms of psychology, I guess, and social psychology. And some people are born with biogenetic tendencies. I think I was. Good and bad. We understand so little of it. But we really believe that. I think it's sound to say we don't know the nature of it, how it works. Some babies, you see them as babies. They're some are calm, some are, as long as it's not medical, Some are calm, some are excitable, some are happy babies, some are unhappy babies. And then you get taught a whole bunch of shit. So, whatever everyone has some biogenetic weakness, then you get taught some real bad shit. And it's not like I'm immune from it, but I like to fight against it sometimes. When I'm my best, when I'm coping at my best, I have come to see that all of that is a fiction in some people's minds. Now, does it mean that I don't want to experience some joy in the little time I have left? The answer to that is that's exactly what I want to do. And I'm talking about, I don't know if you remember, I think it was a live album by the Rolling Stones, Get Your Yayas Out. I want to have some fun in the last days that I'm alive. As miserable as I am, as difficult as it is for me, as time goes along, and I've made some strides in that area as to try to do that, but I'm determined to do it before I die. My Lord, there's a God in heaven. Why would you grant me that wish, but you let all those people die in Nazi Germany, in concentration camps under Mao, starvation as genocide? He was ruthless. I watched a documentary last night. Mao is probably the most prolific mass murderer in history. If you want to just talk about numbers. And his cruelty was even beyond, and he was a sick person. If you look at some of the stuff he did, a very, very sick person. And of course you have Hitler. These were depraved people, and Stalin. And Stalin was like, my Lord, he killed more than Hitler. Most of them Russians. What a frickin' bunch of... I'd like to learn a little more about Pol Pot. I want to... by the way, Gonzalez is facing Gibson here, top of the ninth, to lead it off. And it's a 9-0 ball game. I just dig it. I know Kathy wanted Atlanta, but I'm digging Bob Gibson tonight, and I'm just praying. If there is God up there, I'm praying to you, let him retire 3 in order here and get his 10th strikeout and get a complete game shutout win and bring the Cardinals within now 10 games of the amazing Pirates. I've given up on the Cubs trying to chase them. And I'm not sure I really want the Cardinals to chase them because, the Cardinals kind of bore me, okay? I love having Gibson. I guess it's cool to have people like Carlton and even, what's his name? Sadecki, I think, was on this team. Or maybe not. I think the hitting just leaves me, I find it lackluster. Okay, and they're missing, you know what they're missing? An Orlando Cepeda. What the hell is that about? They traded him to Atlanta? Why? That's a great way to break up your ball club. He was like your main guy, wasn't he? I don't know how he did in 68. I know 67 was a banner year. I think he hit like 325 or something. Let me go take a look here. Orlando, and he's still alive, I believe. He's still kicking. There's not many of us left. Orlando is still kicking. Oh, yeah. Good for him. I always thought he was an exemplary ball player. Okay. He's Puerto Rican. They call him the Baby Bull. His full name is Orlando Manuel Cepeda Peñas. 7-time All-Star. Let me just check his numbers there. What happened to him? What was that all about? Why was he traded? Let's see. In 67, he hit 325. 111 RBIs, led the league, 25 blasts. In 68, oh my Lord, he hit 248. 16 homers. But they wrote him off. You know, he went on to hit 305 in 1970 with 34 frickin' home runs. That's an all-star year. That's an MVP type year. So it's too bad what happened to him, you know, how he in 68 he went down, and it may have been they couldn't agree on a contract. And I think Orlando liked it just fine. He enjoyed Henry Aaron as a teammate, and in particular, Aaron and Rico Carty. And he's Dominican, and Rico, I gotta tell you, Rico was one goddamn hitter. You know that, don't you? Folks, did you know that? Gibson into the windup, and the pitch to Gonzalez. That's 210 right-handed, and there's a base hit off Gibson to lead off the inning. Tony gets it. It's only the 5th hit allowed by Gibson. And let's check that out now. Let's look at that again. That's a 2 with a 10 right there. And he's right-handed, so that's going to be a base hit with the 18 on the 20 die. Carty was a great ball player. Now here's Henry Aaron. We get a chance to see a bunch of Hall of Famers here tonight. A bunch of them. They're coming out of the woodwork here tonight. That, you know, that is an awful, awful goddamn thing to be indicted. They don't indict people on cases. Come on. These people are working full time in the Department of Justice. They are serious people. Okay? Really, they're serious. Really, it's true. To make a blanket statement, oh, they're corrupt. The Justice Department is not corrupt. I mean, there might be some, but no. It's a 9-0 ball game. They thought he was declining. Wow. Wow, that's wild. And look how great Torrey was on St. Louis, but he was still good with, what's his name? Who am I talking about? Oh yeah, Cepeda. I just thought Cepeda, from his 67 year, I thought that was like that's sort of like Joe DiMaggio numbers, you know. In fact, I think that was DiMaggio's lifetime average, 325. You could look it up. I used to think that DiMaggio wasn't as great a player as his legend. And then I went and I looked at his numbers, and they really are superb. He retired after only maybe 15 years, 14 years. It's not like he's one of these guys who plays 20 years or 18 or 19 years. And I think he retired before he had a really bad year. He didn't let that happen. You know, Ted Williams was good right to the end. Now he did decline a bit, but God damn it. In 1957, he was 38 years old. 57. 1957. He retired in 60 was his last year. In 57, he hit 388. Look it up, folks. Look at that on black and white. See that in reality. Look it up. His 1957, and go figure out his age. He's 38 or 39. I think that's a greater feat than when he hit 406 in 41. And I'm sure he was a pretty fallible person. I'm sure he had many traits that I would not like. But I want to tell you, I hope there's nothing really immoral about him, because his legend is arguably the greatest. They used to say natural hitter. What they would say is non-Babe Ruth. But really, and two-time war hero, which is just astonishing to me. You see, I'm a guy, and some of you may not like this. I'm going to be honest here. I would never go to any war, not even a good one. And when I say good one, it means we're talking World War II, because Hitler had to be stopped. Hitlerism and Japan. And Japan, by the way, did the greatest 180 in human history. Just think about that a little bit. But it would be the height of irresponsibility if we default on the debt. Yeah, there's a cookie, Rhodes Scholar. You catch that? Rhodes Scholar, it's Gonzalez on first, nobody out. Gibson has gone all the frickin' way, throwing shutout baseball. And Henry, the great one. An argument could be made all around. He was the greatest, or greatest in his era, especially even more than Mays, because he was so darn consistent. Year after year. Go look, folks. Look at his numbers, Aaron. Is that right, Rick? That's wild. Yeah, that is freaking wild, Rick. You've been here a long time, haven't you? Wow, you were back there when I was in bad shape. I'll wake up tomorrow, it'll be all over again. The bullshit. Not with my son or anything. Maybe I feel good because of the relief of it. Wait, give me until tomorrow at least to get back to my usual miserable self, which is, it's still, that's okay. That's my baseline. All right, Gibson facing Aaron. Look at these two Hall of Famers in this ball game. That is about as big as anything. Okay, Gibson didn't have his greatest year, did he? No, oh yeah, 2.18 for God's sakes. That's insane. The 1.12 is absolutely insane. That was in 68. That's insane. I don't understand how he could have done that. I just don't understand. I'd like to see that card. You can call 68 sort of a boring year. They called it the year of the pitcher. I think they lowered the mound after that year. So the hitting was supposed to be better in 69, and even though there was still great pitching, like Gibson, Seaver, even McLean was still great. I guess, Cuellar and Palmer, McNally, I guess, you had Sudden Sam. These are among the best. Not to mention, it's worth mentioning, the Pirates have gone through with a really nice pitching with Doc Ellis, Steve Blass, Bob Moose, Ellis, Blass, Moose. Who else we got on that? We got 4 or 5 really consistent. Ellis, Blass, Moose. Oh, wow, I'm playing a game right now. Wow, I just looked around here. This whole thing, I just, turned my head a little bit. And like right here, and I said, holy cow, 230 average. Yeah, that's my kind of game. Oh, I'm playing a ball game here. Okay. Yeah. And this is Jeffrey Guterman. It's the Strat-O-Matic Baseball Network. We do a lot of games here, folks. And it's real world, if you will. Good and the bad and the ugly and the exhilarating. It's Henry Aaron now. Gibson from the stretch with Gonzalez on first, and the pitch to Aaron. That's 3-8 right-handed. Grounds it to short for Maxville to Gagliano. And Torrey, and the side is retired. Torrey hit 366. Was that 71? I think so. That's going to be 6-4-3. That's going to be a 2 outs now. And here's Rico Cardi. So Gibson really changes that situation. Whoa. Gibson, collective 230. Wow, isn't that a nugget, people? That's pretty low, Christ. Pretty goddamn low. 1.12. Okay, Rico now. Gibson is 1 out away from just a masterful ball game. Here's the pitch to Rico now. That's 4-7 right-handed. He struck him out. It's number 10. And the game is over. There's McCarver. Jogging up to Gibson. Gibson visibly tired. Uh, nods his head. McCarver puts his arm, gives him a pat on Gibson a pat on the back as the Cardinals jog into the dugout. The final score here is St. Louis 9 and Atlanta nothing, and I like it. It's clean, okay? It's very clean. 9-0 ball game. Love it. It was a gem. Yeah, Kathy Arden, that was a gem, and I'm gonna let it sink in. I'm gonna close this up in silence right now on the score sheet. There it is. Now, I think that's pretty good. We're going to put this one in the books, ladies and gentlemen. Here from the Strat-O-Matic Baseball Network, and it's very, very cozy right here. Do you see how cozy that looks on your screen if you're listening? I know some of you just listen, but you see how cozy that shit is? That's how cozy I feel right now. And we completed this ball game. Now, this is the last game of all games scheduled on August 22 in real world, in our 69 replay. I am going tomorrow morning. Put this one in the books, update and post standings and leaders through August 22. We are now going to venture into August 23. We are slowly making our way through the dog days. Oh, thanks very much, Kathy Harden. That is very kind of you. And yeah, now if I'm feeling better, that's fine. Now let me just work on getting better, okay? So I don't get into these freaking emotional tailspins. And you have a good night. And to everybody else, you all have a good night. You know, I'm very deconstructionist, people. I'm going to let you, if you just want to look at this for a while, this score sheet. Let me make it a little closer here for you. Yeah. Here we go. Beautiful, yeah. Make that close. And see that Bob Gibson was, well, I'm glad to say he was Bob Gibson today. And in fact, I have this thing full screen on my iMac. This very game, what you're seeing is full screen for me there. I could also put it on my TV quite easily. It's a 9-0 ball game we had. I thought it was crisp. I thought it was very crisp and refreshing. I thought watching Gibson was I believe that it was nice to see Brock hit a home run. Who we talking about? Gibson? Oh, you're talking Gibson. Yeah, well, this was a Gibson shutout. It was a Gibson goddamn shutout. And to me, you know, that's great. You know, folks, if you played a Strat-O-Matic game and you had first learned this game today or something, and you go ahead and play a game like this, you're going to say, well, he pitched a great frickin' game. Gibson did. I can't find my goddamn lighter. Oh, there it is. Oh, Lord, folks, what a ball game now. It's Miller time. Oh, my God, I can't believe I looked at the clock, and it says 4:57, and for an instant, I was horrified. In fact, it almost got me to ruin my mood. Okay? I'm making that up a little bit. Just to be dramatic. Gibson really pitched a winner and he died. I have a sort of I hate to say this to you all, but sort of a fascination with death and dying. It's not a morbid thing, okay? It's more of, you know, I think of the finality of it, and then I think about people who died. What's it like for them? And my theory is you're gone. I don't want to upset people. But you want me to be honest? Or do you want me to say what you want to hear? I don't believe there's no evidence for a soul that survives the death of the body, anything like. There's no evidence for any. There is evidence that when you die, you're literally gone. You have no consciousness anymore. It's a hard. Oh shit, do I have to take out that garbage? Yeah, I do. It's time. 5 o'clock. Wow. Folks, thank you for hanging out for this ball game now. It was a doozy. I see it again on TV, Menendez. Damn. This is what I would call Strat-O-Matic porn. You ever hear that expression for things? I'm going to take off, folks. I'm going to be doing a Twitter space tonight. I think I feel relaxed enough to do it. You all take care. It's been great being with you. And thanks for your support and your help and most of all, caring. Good night, everybody.